Well, good morning, YouTube. This is Greg. Thanks for stopping by to visit my channel on this cool, frosty February morning on the Florida Trail. Yesterday I was doing a section of the Florida Trail that winds up past Keystone Heights and transects one of the state parks. And while stumping along on the trail, a lot of it runs through some sandhill, pine, oak community and ecosystem. And frequently, because we have convective weather in the summer times, there's lightning strikes and burns. And I stumbled on a tree that had been lightning struck and knocked over. And down at near the stump and the roots, gravity being what it is, all the sap moved down in that area and crystallized. And it was so red and crystalline, you'd hardly imagine the tree was ever made out of wood at all. So, stumping around this morning, I found this little stump, and so I wanted to show it to you, and then I'll peel out some of the pieces that I chipped off of it and show you what they'll do. Hang on, let me turn this around. Okay, so all around us is pine and scrub oak. There's some turkey oak over there, some live oak in front. There has obviously been a burn here at some point, and this is the stump of this tree that's fallen down, and the deadfall is rotten and nearly worthless. I guess you could use it for some kind of firewood, but over on the stump, it's not apparently of much value until I took my knife and chipped just underneath the charred part, and it's rich with fat wood. Well, let me find a place up here where I won't burn the forest down. I'll clear out a place in the dirt and show you some of the pieces I found yesterday. And last week, a friend of mine in Europe sent me a YouTube note asking did I have a fire kit and what was in it. And I kind of do. I have a couple of them. A little one that stays in my car, and a larger piece that goes in a haversack that I sometimes carry with me when I'm just going through the woods looking for tinder. But let me put this on pause and find a place, and I'll show you some fat wood from yesterday. Okay, here's a good looking piece of sand where I don't think I'm going to burn the forest down. This is my haversack that we boys made back in the scout days 40-something years ago. Just simple canvas and boiled linseed oil, beeswax, and I think some turpentine spirits to make it dry. Inside is my tinder box. And yesterday found a nice piece of punk wood for future reference. Punk wood, just that spongy stuff that of rotten trees, and it chars very nicely. Another tinder box. This one has my chert and steel and some cotton material. In one of the classes with the boys, with our Civil Air Patrol cadet boys and girls, we showed them how to char cloth, and then I suggested to them that it was really irresponsible and not very effectual to char stuff that comes out of your closet. There's much better natural materials that come from out in the woods. Inside my kit is my 1-inch fire steel. Somebody gave this thing to me. It's a Corona scraper. They said it was a blade sharpener for edge tools. I would never put this on a knife that I valued at all. It scrapes so much stuff off so fast, it would undoubtedly ruin the blade of a good knife. But for the fire steel, it's great. It's perfect. Not good for anything else. In my fire kit, I carry this little still saw. Yesterday when I came upon the deadfall and stump, that's what I used to cut off some pieces. Typically I'll cut off pieces of fat wood that are 9 or 10 inches long. Going around the pond, found some cattail. Usually have a plastic bag to put flash tinder and stuff that I find in. Found a birch tree and some birch bark. More pieces of fat wood. These are some of the pieces that I found yesterday. This one is so red and crystalline. It smells like turpentine without doing anything to it. And also inside is this little guy. It's admittedly not very bushcrafty, I'll have to admit. But it does a great job for what I typically want it to do. And so let's see. Let's try a couple of things here. Grab a little piece of birch bark. Rough up some of it. Let's see here. In Florida, as you can see, there's tons of stuff to light a fire with. I'm going to forego using any of the charred material. And a little fluff. Here's a little bit of milkweed thistle. And some cattail fluff. In the surfboard factory, we call this thing a Sureform file. It's admittedly not very bushcrafty, but I love it. It makes really short work of a piece of fat wood and renders shavings that are the perfect size for your fire lay. So okay, let's see if we can't fire this stuff off. Pretty cool. In Florida, if you can't get a fire lit with found materials, then you should stay home and not go outside at all. There is also hardwood deadfall around here. I'll just use some of this stuff and you can get the basic idea. And again, if you look at this piece, I just cut a little section out down near the roots. It is so red and crystalline with sap and smells nearly like raw turpentine that very, very easy to get a fire started with just found stuff from near the trail. I'll let this burn down and then put it out and continue my walk. And again, this thing's not very bushcrafty, this little tool here, but it does a really great job of processing fat wood. And between the milkweed thistle and the cattail and this stuff, which abound in Florida, if you can't get a fire going with this kind of stuff, you should really think about staying at home and just watching YouTube videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you the next time.